Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gaming with me, Tony Mo. Welcome back to Destiny, and welcome to our first proper episode of the Daily, the one that actually includes questions and topics submitted by you, the viewer. Now, if you're a new subscriber to the channel, of which there are many, I'd like to welcome you guys all aboard. Thank you for coming on over. For those of you who do not know, I was able to end up being able to create content for Planet Destiny, essentially. They asked me to do some work for them, and I was very excited, and I know a lot of you guys stumbled over from there. I want to welcome you to the channel. I hope you guys find some awesome content here, Destiny or otherwise. But the Daily is a series in which I go ahead and complete the daily heroic story solo once per week, and actually then create discussion and answer questions based on questions and topics that you guys have actually submitted in previous episodes. So, as always, be sure to submit any topics or discussion that you may have for next week's episode down in the comments section below. But let's get the ball rolling on this thing, then we can talk a little bit more. We're doing Last Rites, which is going to see us using the stealth code, travel deep into the heart of the Hellmouth, and slip away with a sliver of Crota's soul. If I remember correctly, this mission isn't entirely difficult, but it's still going to be fun nonetheless as we try to make it through some of these submitted topics and questions that you guys entered last week. We've got 3 people in total with a slew of questions. Almost all of you guys asked more than one or had more than one topic, which is awesome. I'm going to continue to use those throughout the course of the series, but I've managed to pick one from each of you based on the length of this mission, which it's a shorter mission. We're looking at probably around 10 or 11 minutes as long as things go according to plan. Let's take a look at the gear that we're going to be running here. So I've got my Immolation Fist that I just picked up from Xur. We're going to level those up. I can't say how often I'm actually going to use them, but I always like to get my gear nice and leveled and ready just in case I need it in the future. Those things are super, super bulky. We've got a couple things from the raid. Haven't actually defeated Oryx yet, just from the Death Singer. So we've got our War Newman's Mark, as well as the hated Silence of AR and Shotgun that I honestly don't hate nearly as much as everyone else does. I'm starting to think that my opinion clashes with the Destiny community very, very much, but I'm okay with that. As long as I'm having a good time, that's what games are about. We've also got a bunch of primaries to level up. So much crap that I have not leveled up. A lot of it's because I'm short on Relic Iron, but we're going to be running the Boolean Gemini today, Scout Rifle that I haven't had the opportunity to spend enough time with. Again, getting that Silence of Aeron up. We're going to run our sword because why not? I don't think we're actually going to need it either way. And the Kingslayer Shell, which I also got from the raid. Pretty cool shell if we take a look at that. Definitely digging it. Love it. I'm also going to give us the opportunity to search for Worm Spore, which sadly is the one resource that I have way too much of already. So before we go ahead and get into some of the topics and questions that you guys submitted, I wanted to add a twist into this series, right? So we already have the idea. It's a series based on community interaction. As the channel continues to grow, I wanted a series that's really going to allow you guys to directly influence the conversation and discussion that I have, and what better way to do that than a series like this? But I also want to throw some sort of custom modifiers into our daily solo heroic story here, and that will involve you guys submitting weapon sort of lock-ins. So the idea being that you guys will submit a specific weapon type, whether it be sidearm, shotgun, sniper rifle, sword, heavy machine gun. Actually, we should probably leave heavy machine guns and rocket launchers out of this because I don't know that I can get enough ammo for those to clear a whole story mission, but maybe perhaps that would be part of the challenge. We'll have to see how it all goes, but be sure to let me know if there are any specific weapon modifiers, as we'll call them, that you guys would like to see me utilize down in the comment section below, and we'll see about throwing those in. We'll see about throwing those in next week and seeing how it all works out. It's something I want to put to the test. I think it could be really fun for you guys to modify, you know, because like I said, I feel like the heroic daily is a little bit too easy, and we can make it difficult by you guys saying use sidearms only, you know, use blues only or something ridiculous. Let me know any thoughts you have on that. If there's anything you'd like to suggest, throw it down in the comment section below, and we'll give it a go. Next week we'll give it a go and we'll see how this works out. Now I'm looking to put this series up every single Thursday. I realize this episode is coming out on a Friday, but from now on you can expect it every single Thursday. I'll have it ready to go, and we'll make it happen on Thursdays, so it'll be a consistent series. You guys can look forward to it. Something I'm really excited about. I know this is more of an old school series. People would say this may be a little bit classic and unoriginal, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun nonetheless. So let's grab this damn relic and get the discussion rolling. Alright, so Fark S, you submitted a ton of questions, man. You also had some kind words for me, talking about how you really enjoyed the idea of the series and that you enjoyed what I was doing with my channel. I really appreciate that, man. That is awesome. I always try and get back to you guys when you have anything to say, even, you know, when it's negative, but I especially appreciate the kind words. So you had a bunch of awesome topics. I'm just going to go ahead and answer one of your questions, and that is, how much do you play? Because I think this is a good question, and people actually ask me this quite a lot, you know, when they realize I do YouTube, or maybe when they just find out that I play games. The answer is a lot. I play a lot of games. Honestly, even if I didn't do YouTube and if I had some sort of other job, games are a huge, huge passion of mine. You know, I love them to death. They'll be a part of my life forever. Oh, look at that. That was pro MLG run right there. Oh, yeah. Suck it. Suck it, Taken. Actually, they're not even Taken, are they? Suck it, regular, not Taken Hive. So I play quite a lot. A lot of it does have to do with the fact that I am, you know, making content on YouTube. There's a lot of footage to be gathered. You know, what some people would call B-roll footage you're going to use when editing a more edited, you know, based video. You know, maybe like that sidearms discussion I did, I wanted to make sure I got a lot of good sidearms footage that I could meld together. Sometimes a lot of it's just capturing footage. Other times, you know, you have to play a lot maybe to unlock a specific item that you really want to talk about. You want to fully level out your chaperone to do some sort of impressions on it. You know, or maybe it's just another game, a first impressions. You want to put in at least 2 hours and see what the initial game experience is like. Or maybe in the case of a full review, you know, you're really going to grind for like a 3-day period to try and get 40 or 50 hours into something like Metal Gear Solid to try and give, you know, really solid impressions on the experience. So it really depends. You know, sometimes you're doing it purely for a requirement, but for me, I'm almost always playing games, I would say easily 3 to 4 hours a day. I play before work, usually to make a video for YouTube, and I play after work, sometimes for YouTube and sometimes for enjoyment, depending on the day. So I play a lot of games, huge part of my life. That's definitely not going to change anytime soon. Great question. A lot of people have asked me that. I'm happy to finally kind of give a clear answer on that. Moving on, the AUT Checker, again with a slew of awesome questions. One that I'm really interested in answering, though, is VR really going to be the big thing of the next 15 years? I think this is something that a lot of people are very pensive about. They're concerned about VR. Honestly, I'm so on board with VR. A lot of it has to do with, I think, some of the bigger creative minds behind it. I know there's a lot of teams working on VR devices, but the thing that really gets me going is what Palmer Luckey and his team are doing, right? I know they're kind of the, you know, the guys behind the start of it. You know, got John Carmack, you know, was working over there. But the big thing for me, actually, is just he feels like he really understands what it's about. You know, the VR experience in itself, putting on the headset, being immersed in the world, you know, once you clear everything else up, you know, let's forget about the technical issues. That's a big deal, right? And he recognizes we don't have to have really gimmicky sort of motion controls. Let's think about what works. What is the consumer comfortable with? And let's build something that can then enhance their experience inside of virtual reality experience. And you see those Oculus Touch controllers they made, where you still have your 2 joysticks, completely comfortable, you can play a first-person shooter, but it allows you to track your hand manipulation so you can do small things like pick up ammo off the ground, throw a magazine to someone. That's huge. You don't need to do a lot, right? This is a pretty fresh experience. It's nice to see someone like him understand that. I've been saying that with freaking Kinect for forever, and was very disappointed to see them just kind of take that in so many odd directions without recognizing, you know, it's like, dude, just keep it a little bit more simple. You know, this is already some cool tech. The simpler you make it and the more you allow it to just be a natural part of our gameplay experience, the better off we're going to be. I'm getting nuked. Let's go hammer time. So I'm very excited. You know, of course, we have Sony even announcing their now PlayStation VR. They've taken the name Project Morpheus and changed it into PlayStation VR. That's exciting. Honestly, I'll probably finally be forced into grabbing Destiny on the PlayStation 4 if that happens. So many people asking me to get the game on the PlayStation 4. If I can play it in VR, OM freaking G, man. That would just be way too cool. I'd be so on board for that. So excited for that. So thanks for that one, AUT Checker. Again, you submitted a lot more questions, just like Farkas. I'm definitely saving those. Got them in a OneNote file, and we're going to use those for future episodes. Last and definitely not least, Carl Phillips asks a ton of questions, or actually, you know, a bunch of topic-related focuses on raid archetypes. You know, the different people who are a part of the raid and how they impact it. And I don't think I'm going to be able to finish this one before this mission's over, but we'll see what we can do here. You know, that's a fun discussion, right? Because I've been trying to make it through the raid recently with a group of people, some who take the game a little bit more seriously just because they have the time to do so, and others who, you know, are really busy. Their work requires them to work a huge amount of hours, and they don't really have that same focus, so they're, you know, undergeared and things of the nature. And we all kind of have our own approach to how we take on the raid. Now, I'm somebody who's all about having fun, but I'm also somebody who really likes to put a hardcore focus on being serious when the time comes to it. So I'd say I definitely fit that sort of raid leader personality, and I'm someone who definitely does like to take charge. It's just kind of built in for me. As someone who spent a lot of my youth, you know, kind of just being on my own, you know, I slowly realized that when I am with people, I kind of like to lead the pack. Oh my god, I forgot about this. There's just crazy death everywhere. You know, I don't think that's a bad thing. I'm not forceful about it, you know. If somebody else wants to take charge, I'm all for it, you know, but it's something that I really enjoy. I like organizing that sort of thing, and I think that's an important part of leading something like a raid, is making sure you have the information, you know, trying to inform yourself. There's another good friend, goes by the name of Destruct on Xbox, who, you know, he's also really good at that. You know, he likes to go into it head first, kind of, you just mess around, poke around a little bit, see if we can figure it out, but he's great at getting the information right and really understanding and breaking it down, making it clear cut for everybody, and I think that's really important. He brought up a couple other archetypes too. We have the Chatter, the Rage Quitter, and the Silent Guardian. Like I said, we're not going to be able to cover all these, but I want to talk about the Chatter, right? The Chatter. Everyone has experienced the Chatter, whether it be with a group of friends or with a random. You know, it's that one person who refuses to maintain any sort of focus. Maybe they actually have a, you know, an actual, you know, problem going on there, where they have, you know, some sort of, you know, disability where they can't focus properly, or they're just someone who doesn't care all that much, but they're there anyways because they just like hanging out and talking with people. You know, they don't really, I think, usually mean to harm the group in any way, but when they're just rambling on and they're skipping through like YouTube videos in the background, you hear them over your mic, meanwhile you're getting smoked by, you know, the Death Singers for like the 15th or 25th time. Everyone gets a little bit frustrated with that person. Sometimes I think a lot of it has to do with how long you've been running a raid or a situation. You know, sometimes you're in the raid and things just aren't going right. Some people can start to lose focus. Some people can't hold it as well as others. Some people just don't have the same level of patience. Playing games, you know, I think from when I was very young, experiencing things like Battletoad and Metroid and Castlevania, I built up a pretty high tolerance for difficult things, for challenges that seemed like they just could not be completed. I think if you were a big Tony Hawk fan back in the day and you really liked to crush those crazy high combos, you also understood that sort of level of masochism of just instant retry, you know, never really knowing when you were going to succeed, but in your head knowing that it will eventually happen. So he's got a couple more awesome ones in there. Like I said, the Rage Quitter and the Silent Guardian, and the leader who is very angry and yells at everybody. We're definitely going to talk about those. I think there's a lot of fun discussion to have with those. We will save that for next week's video. But of course, if you guys have any other topics or questions you'd like to submit for next week's daily, please let me know down in the comment section below. Honestly, if we can build up an awesome archive of this stuff, it's going to be great. We're going to have a ton of these, and maybe I'll have to start doing 2 of these a week. We'll have to see how it goes. It would be fun to see this series really expand and grow. Again, I think it's a great way to keep the community involved with what's going on the channel as the channel continues to grow. Once again, a big hello and thank you to all of you who recently subbed, whether you came from Planet Destiny or otherwise. See, this guy knows what's up. Actually, no, he doesn't have the shotgun. He doesn't know what's up. Damn. You know, a big welcome and a thank you to all of you guys. Of course, let me know those modifier thoughts that you have down in the comment section below. I have a feeling a lot of you are going to say sidearms, considering my do sidearms suck video and how adamant I am about the success of sidearms in this game when used properly. But let me know if there's anything in specific, even if it's a single weapon. Maybe you want to see me use the rather horrible Fave Demon strategy throughout the course of the entire thing. Maybe there's even a certain subclass you want to see me spec. Let me know down in the comment section below, and we will try and make it happen next weekend. We'll give this a go, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. If you guys have any other questions for me, feel free to throw them down there as well. Anything regarding the channel, anything at all. If you're a new subscriber, you know, there's something you just need to have that answer and you don't have it, feel free to ask me and I'll try and get back to you as quickly as I can. Now, I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. I'm going to be pretty much going away for the weekend, enjoying the cider mill, doing some fall festivities with the family. I hope you guys have a great weekend, play some awesome games, enjoy this crisp, cool fall weather. Hopefully, no one's having some nasty storms coming their way. I know things are starting to get brutal over on parts of the East Coast. I wish everyone a safe weekend as well. Play some Destiny, stay inside, stay warm, and have a good weekend. I'll see you guys in the next one.